Hi everyone, Elliot here from Lunark Studios, and I am doing another show match against my friend Will. We are just playing a standard 30-second game with 8 randomly generated units. And these units are very interesting. There's a lot of good rush opportunities and not a whole lot of defense. Getting Shadowfangs really aggressively could be good. Tia Thurnax is also always an interesting option. So I'm going to wait and see what Will does. If he's choosing to go Victory Bond, that could mean that he's going to play an economic build. There's a lot of sort of later game options like Fabricator, but they're probably not that viable with units like Shadowfang that can amass such a massive amount of damage really quickly. I do kind of feel like getting Shadowfangs. Maybe I will go for an early Animus, and if the opportunity presents itself, I can get a second Animus so that I'll have enough red in order to get Shadowfangs. Will looks like he's trying to get Shadowfangs himself with a double Animus there. So do I want to mirror him, or do I want to try something slightly different? I think probably the correct thing to do is try to be as aggressive as possible in order to put pressure on Will. So getting a Tarsier is good. Getting the second Animus for Shadowfangs also seems pretty good. The other alternative is to just go Tia Thurnax to try and get a Conduit up, but I think the second Animus is probably better. Here I planned on saving exactly 1 gold in the bank so that I can get a Rhino and a Shadowfang next turn in order to defend against any Shadowfang or other kind of threat that Will put out. Not Tarsier, Rhino. And this has the effect of actually threatening Will for quite a lot next turn, so in order to defend, he's going to have to either get some Rhinos or leave back a lot of drones. Looks like he's going to leave back the drones. I'm not sure if that's going to work out for him, although I'm going to have to be careful about my defense as well. It's always a bit unfortunate when you have to lose your economy. So I could just spam Rhinos. Unfortunately, I'm sort of one point of defense short in order to really get an efficient defense off. So what's the alternative? The alternative is to defend, not attack for the full amount and just attack for 3 instead of 4 and defend with my Rhino. If I want another Shadowfang, then I need to leave back a whole lot of drones to defend. But that could be optimal as it puts Will under a lot of pressure. Given that he's got Shadowfangs, Will, right in this situation, just wants to protect them at all cost. I think the last thing I'm debating is whether or not I should just work with another drone and give Will the opportunity to kill my Rhino. Probably it's better to defend with it, because Will's attacking me with 5 no matter what, so I'd rather lose a drone than a Rhino, especially since the Rhino gives me a threat to attack for another damage next turn. And here I think the game's going to wind down really quickly because we're both going to sacrifice tons of drones in order to protect our Shadowfang, and whoever gets through is going to win. Now that said, there's still a lot of interesting tactical choices, like do I attack with this Rhino and block with drones, or do I try and defend with it? And that decision could be really interesting. I'm sure Will is looking at the same decision right now because he's trying to decide whether it's viable to buy a Rhino of his own. I really want to attack with everything, but can I afford to do it? See, if I do this, then he still can't touch my Shadowfang, so I actually think I'm in pretty good shape if I chose to go this route. These types of very sort of micro-intensive battles are common if both players rush, and that's what happened in this game. We both decided to go Shadowfangs and went really aggressive with a very small economy. So often these games come down to absolutely the wire, and neither player seems to have a real advantage. Going first or going second doesn't make a huge amount of difference, because I mean, the minute combinatorial difference in the amount of economy you have, it sort of creates a butterfly effect where you just can't predict who's going to be ahead later in the game, because a small difference can amount to something so huge later. So here, if I attack with my Rhino, he's going to breach and kill a Shadowfang. Now, I may win nonetheless. Actually, I think it doesn't really matter too much what I do. I think I win in either case. But here, if Will breaches me and kills a Shadowfang, then I'll just be able to kill everything he has next turn. And even though I have no drones left, I still manage to barely pull out a win. And Will here is resigned. So that's the game. GG.